All right, so we're diving deep today, folks, into something that's, well, let's be honest, kind of freaked people out for centuries.
Yeah.
Signs of the last day according to Jesus, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've got this excerpt snappily titled, "What are the signs Jesus said we will be seeing on the last day?" But,
Right.
as we'll find out, it's not exactly a straightforward, a checklist kind of thing.
No, not at all.
It's a topic that, well, people interpret it in all sorts of ways, right?
A lot of different interpretations. Yeah.
And our goal here isn't to, preach or set any dates or anything like that.
Right.
We just want to explore those different ideas, those
And
different
nuances.
Yeah, the nuances, exactly.
Yeah.
And thankfully, we've got our expert here who can kind of help us navigate these sometimes pretty complex religious texts
Absolutely.
and the historical context around them.
Well, thank you.
So, someone tuning in might expect, this excerpt to just lay out
A list.
a bullet point list. Yeah, like, boop, 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 here are the signs.
Mhm.
But
It's not like that.
it's not quite like that, is it?
Not really, no.
There's not actually,
Nothing specific
there's nothing specific in the text itself attributed directly
to Jesus. Yeah.
to Jesus, right? About what those signs would be.
It's more about,
Yeah.
well, you have to kind of broaden your perspective a little bit.
Okay, so we need to zoom out a little bit.
Yeah, zoom out, look at the bigger picture.
So where do we even start zooming out to then?
Well, if you want to get a handle on the signs that people often associate with the last day, we got to look at, well, the broader biblical context,
Okay.
right? So think about, the Gospels, the book of Revelation.
Those are big ones, yeah.
Those are the texts that come up all the time.
When you talk about this stuff,
Yeah, when you're talking about end-time prophecies.
Right, okay.
It's more like, you're putting together this giant theological puzzle.
So hold on, are we saying like wars and famines?
Yeah.
Like those are definite signs of the end times.
Well,
Because those have kind of been happening.
all the time.
Yeah, throughout history.
Right, exactly.
So what makes them different in this?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's a really important one.
Yeah.
It's not really about the events themselves.
Okay.
It's more about how they're interpreted,
Okay.
right? You have to see it through a specific theological lens.
Okay, so give me an example.
Okay, so let's take the destruction of the Second Temple in Jerusalem.
Okay.
Happened in 70 A.D.
Big event.
Huge, absolutely catastrophic
Yeah.
for, the Jewish people, for early Christians.
Yeah.
It was devastating, and it's actually described in the Gospels.
It is, yeah.
And for a lot of early Christians, they saw it as, well, a prophecy coming true.
Wow.
It really, made them think about the end times, really fueled a lot of apocalyptic thinking.
So, I mean, this idea that like
Yeah.
really bad stuff happening.
Upheaval.
Yeah, upheaval. That's a good word for it.
Yeah.
It's a sign.
It's a sign.
I mean, that kind of resonates across time, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, another one you hear a lot about is
The rise of false prophets.
the rise of false prophets or teachers or
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, especially today, with all this misinformation flying around.
Right. Everywhere.
Yeah.
And, this worry about false teachings, misleading doctrines.
It's not new.
It's not new at all. It's like a constant
and anxiety.
anxiety. Yeah. Across history.
People have always been worried about that.
Yeah. And you see, even today, different denominations, they interpret this sign
In different ways.
in all sorts of ways.
Yeah.
Some people, they'll point to, specific figures or movements and say, see, that's the prophecy coming true.
Right.
And that can really spark a lot of debate.
Within those communities.
Yeah, within and between
Oh, yeah, for sure.
different religious groups.
So it's not, I'm starting to get it now.
Yeah,
It's
it's-
not about like checking things off a list. It's more about,
It's about the narrative.
Right.
Right? And how different people understand it.
yeah, and how different people interpret those signs within that narrative.
Exactly.
It's almost like these prophecies, they're giving us a way to think about
Yeah.
not just historical anxieties, but like anxieties that are still with us today.
That's a really insightful way to put it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Because apocalyptic literature, like
Yeah.
Revelation
Yeah.
that pops up.
When things are rough.
When things are rough, yeah.
When society is in upheaval.
Yeah, when people are looking for answers
Exactly.
and they're trying to make sense of
chaos.
of the chaos, of the
Uh-huh.
uncertainty.
It's a way to find meaning
Yeah, it's a way to find meaning, yeah.
in tough times.
So it makes you think, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why are we still so fascinated
I know.
with end time prophecies?
Right. Why does this stuff still resonate?
Like across cultures, across centuries.
Across millennia, practically.
Yeah, it's a big question, isn't it?
It really is.
But I think what we've learned is that
Yeah.
even though this excerpt we started with
Right.
didn't give us like a specific list
It didn't.
to go off of,
We had to do a little more digging.
yeah, we've learned that understanding signs of the last day, it requires going deeper.
A deeper dive.
Yeah, a deeper dive, right, into
The Bible.
the whole biblical context.
The whole thing.
Yeah, and considering, like you said, all these
All the different
the
interpretations.
different ways people interpret these prophecies.
Absolutely.
It's a complex.
Oh, it's complex.
But it's fascinating, isn't it?
It really is, yeah.
It's a fascinating topic.
It makes you think.
It really does.
Yeah.
And it leads us to a question for everyone listening, right?
Absolutely.
How do you think about these signs?
Yeah, how do they affect you?
Yeah, how do these different interpretations?
Right, how do those different interpretations?
How do they affect people's beliefs and their
Yeah.
actions?
Yeah, their actions in the world today.
What resonates with you?
Yeah, think about that.
And how does it shape the way you see the world, right?
It's something to ponder.
It is. And remember, folks, this deep dive, this is just the start.
Yeah, keep exploring.
Yeah, we encourage you to keep exploring these ideas,
Keep digging.
but always keep an open mind, all right?
Always.
And a critical eye.
For sure.
That's important.
Absolutely.
Well, hey, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you next time.
See you later.